Hello, my name is Darrell,
And my name is Greg.
and this is Inside the Mastermind. And you may be wondering yourself, what is a mastermind? Well, Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich, defines a mastermind as the coordination of knowledge and effort of two or more people who work toward a definite purpose in the spirit of harmony. So,
And here at Inside the Mastermind, we focus on five main areas of life, which are mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, and socially. And we want to improve these areas in our own lives, as well as help you, the viewers, do the same thing and create a life of meaning, abundance, and greatness.
that's right. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about the singularity. And singularity, we'll kind of go into that a little bit more, but essentially what it is the idea that at some point computers are going to be a little bit smarter than us and kind of move past us up the evolution chain. And when that happens, that's called the singularity. Right now, they're kind of getting there, but they're not there yet. At least that's what we think. But before we go into that, of course, I have to come up with kind of a corny joke just to share here. So my corny joke of the day, I'll go ahead and share here one moment. So let me ask you, Greg. So what does the world's smartest man say after the singularity has occurred?
He says, "Oh, great! Now all the pressure's off of me."
No, he says, "Do you want fries with that?" So that that's kind of where we could possibly be going. Hopefully, it's not to that degree, but I kind of was thinking and just playing around with this idea, and I thought that there were maybe three different examples of possibilities for singularity. And feel free to jump in at any point, Greg, there if you have any others. The I guess the first the first example is the Terminator version there, and it's probably all kind of based on movies to a certain degree. The Terminator version, where basically robots or AI become smarter than us. And at that moment, they decide, okay, humans are no longer needed. So let's just go ahead and eliminate them and destroy them and get rid of them or enslave them. That's option number one. Now, option number two is maybe the cyborg or let's say RoboCop version, where and we're kind of already at that stage to a certain degree where people kind of meld with humans, meld with machines, and kind of become this symbiotic relationship there. And honestly, like for people who have a phone, it's kind of already getting to that degree, I think, to a certain degree. And then the third option is maybe the Matrix version, there, where robots kind of take over, but they don't exactly tell everyone that they're taking over. They kind of change and alter the reality for us humans there, so that we're kind of living within a hollow desk or a hollow room there, but we're not even really aware of it there. They kind of go about doing what they're going to do, and they kind of let us live out our lives in this virtual reality. And that may have already come to pass. But what are your thoughts about that, Greg? How do you think about the singularity?
Oh yeah, I can definitely see this being a reality, just like you just stated. Like the third option for the Matrix, I believe it actually is already here and taking place because I'm really passionate on trying to unplug people and wake them up. Where we're just taught to be distracted by our technology, which again I love technology. We're doing this podcast right now live, and hope you can reach hundreds of thousands of people all across the world, and we're sitting in our each in our own homes, and that's awesome. But the other side of it is that some people don't know where the balance is, to where technology is awesome, you can use it for fun and greatness and also to help people, but also if you get pulled into the matrix part where you're just distracted all day and you don't really try to live a life of significance to help other people out, you just get you're just delusion. So I can see all three happening as far as symbiotic or or cyborg type humans, because that's already happening. I actually have a friend that he started a GoFundMe account because he's legally blind, but he's a magician, but he's really good. You should check him out sometime when he actually lives here in Phoenix. But anyway, so he posted a GoFundMe because there's this device that actually gives people 20/20 vision, but it lets you focus in on certain objects, zoom in, so it gets like bionic eyes in a way. But it's kind of like the Oculus device, but the portable one you put over your head. But it supposedly gives you like 20/20 vision. So he sent me this YouTube video of this device, and it helps people see that really can't see, or they are blind or close to being blind. And I was like, wow. So it'd be like have like pretty much bionic vision where you can zoom in and go to different visions like X-ray or night vision. And I was like, the future is now. So that's crazy. Even us right here talking these devices, it's like the technology is getting smarter and smarter to where they can predict what our thoughts. We just think about you go on Facebook or somewhere online and have an advertising there. Like, wow, I was just thinking about that. How did they know? Is things are evolving to the point to where, it may not need humans anymore. So I think it's already here. It's just the beginning stages.
I think you're absolutely right. I think there's on kind of a side note, a complete tangent there. There's a movie that I think just came out this weekend, and you may have already seen this there. You have the ability, but called Upgrade, which is supposed to be about just I guess a handicapped guy who like kind of does all this robotic stuff to himself and allows a computer to take over his body partially, and he has all these kind of superpowers once like the robot like symbiote part takes over and stuff, and he starts beating people up at the same time. I don't know. I have to check that out. Have you heard of that? Just as a complete side note.
Actually, this past weekend, I actually went and saw Deadpool Part 2. That's what I went to go see because I didn't see that yet, which is pretty funny. I love the Deadpool series, and of course, I can't think of the actor's name right now, but anyway. But I did see the preview for that, and it looked very interesting because I saw the scene where this guy was about to get him, and his body was like talking to him like combat mode or something. He's like, huh? I can fight? And he started like fighting. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, so we have that to look forward to. I just kind of worry about the Terminator version there of events. Like honestly, at this point, if computers or AI or algorithms there that are running the world right now decided, hey, you know what, I just don't really want these humans here anymore. They want to kind of get rid of us in a violent manner. They have all of the power. There's another movie there that I can relate that is called Transcendence. It shows Johnny Depp is the star, and like I think it got a lot of bad reviews. I personally loved the movie. I thought it was fantastic there, but it just kind of talks about a guy who is dying, and he decides to upload his brain to the internet. And once he uploads his brain to the internet, all kinds of crazy stuff starts happening and stuff. So I think we're like right on the verge right now, or like I said, it may already be happening. I might be talking in a hollow deck right now. Who knows? You can't really. You can't really tell. There's so much that technology can do these days, and if you kind of just think about even 20, 30 years ago or so, there were like 8-bit and 16-bit video games there. Like back in my day, like you would play with these 16-bit and 32-bit, and Super Nintendo was 100 and video games there that were just thought, oh wow, that's cutting edge. And now you're kind of getting to talk about this with my brother before, to I think it's called the Uncanny Valley. Basically, I'm not sure if you've heard of that term before, but it's just where basically you can't really tell if it's a robot you're talking to or if it is a human you're talking to, and that kind of goes for like CGI, and that also goes for like even voice automated things out there right now. There are kind of voice automated systems that actually sound like they're persons, and there's robo dialers out there that kind of sound legit there. But I don't know. Have you heard anything about that, kind of the uncanny valley there at all?
Well, as far as when it comes to video games, I actually did try out the Oculus myself. My friend actually won it at Comic-Con a couple years ago, and it was crazy. I mean, that's a totally off topic story, but just a really quick version. So, friend didn't even want to go to Comic-Con. Convinced him to go. He showed up. And he won the Oculus. He didn't even know what to do with it. So, he eventually got it working. So we would play it like, wow, this is crazy. You turn your head around, you can see around places. Even with their one video game, it's more of like a holographic type where everything projects in the room. So you don't even have to have a device on or hold a controller. You just go and actually touch things and make it go. So and some things it's getting harder to the point where even the CGI, some of it you can't even tell it's fake anymore. It's like at the point where it's like, is that real or fake? It's hard to tell. So it's now watch 20 years from now, like just like us watching movies from the 80s, we laugh at them now. Like, really, you guys can tell that cheesy claymation dinosaur coming out to sea? I wonder if it'd be the same with stuff that we think looks real now. 20 years from now, like, that looks totally fake. But yeah, and then also with I heard like a call center representative. It was like a Google test. I don't know if it was a TED Talks or something, but they were speaking to the automated lady, and she literally sounded real. Like, you cannot tell it was a robot. It was like, "Hi, what's your name? Oh, thank you for that. Okay, so what would you like to do? Would you like to place an order? This?" And they're like literally fluid conversation. Like, you could not even tell. So yeah, it is. It's crazy.
Right. It's kind of getting it's getting to the point where you can't really tell. And I think one last example. I think either the last main Star Wars, either kind of the Last Jedi or the one before, there was just a character in there that was completely CGI, but a lot of people couldn't really tell. They're like, hey, is that person CGI or is that like an actual person? It was kind of freaking people out. I think it was the general, and then there was kind of an older version of Carrie Fisher there, and like one of the other Star Wars movies that looked like it would just use kind of like remapping her face there from when she was really young. And like, you couldn't really, you kind of looked at it like, did she like play this when she was younger, or is this a robot? And it's kind of like a robot AI type of thing that was going on there. So I could probably wrap up talking about this, but
but really quickly, I think a couple of great examples of that too is actually Terminator. You know how they have Arnold Schwarzenegger in the later ones, and he looks literally like he did in the 80s, like that. That's crazy, blows my mind. And also with Tron Legacy. So it's just crazy. Eventually, they're not gonna even have to use humans to act anymore in movies. Just gonna create them by a computer.
It's interesting yet scary at the same time, because I mean, 20 years from now, you could be doing a video conference there. You think you're talking to your friend, you could be talking to a robot, like impersonating your friend, and that's real.
I can see that as being good for, like, you call in to work, like, I'll just use my CGI self to go work for me.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, but like, as far as like, I don't know, we could go into all kinds of wonderful tangents there at this point, but probably need to go ahead and wrap up. And I'll just go ahead and let me first ask, Greg, do you have a quote that you wanted to share? Usually throw that in, if not, or
so the quote I have today is this is by Ray Kurzweil, I believe how you say it. Kurzweil, I believe is how you say his last name. But he says, by 2029, computers will have emotional intelligence and be convincing as people. So that's by Ray Kurzweil.
Awesome. I guess we usually throw out some audience homework. I guess I'll just throw out some like random homework. If you guys want to, just go ahead and maybe put in the comments like what have you found to be the thing that is closest to singularity there, or maybe the scariest thing about the coming singularity that you've seen? Like, have you seen kind of a person with kind of a completely robot hand or like eyes or whatnot, or have you talked to an automated system that actually seemed like a person? If you have any examples, just go ahead and share those. Maybe that's the homework there. And
and also I'll add a second part of homework as far as bonus homework. Maybe go ahead and watch a movie from the 50s, between the 50s and the 90s, you know, that was based in the future, and then compare it to our current world to see how accurate those predictions were. If we're using that type of technology, if we're even surpassed that, or if it's, wow, this is actually really close and scary. So maybe just like a bonus assignment, watch a movie from back then that predicted like 30, 40, 50, 100 years in the future and see how accurate it is to our current world. Or where we're going.
You know what's, and we're completely going off the rails right now, but I'll just throw this in here. What's so funny about that is, like, you know, in the 60s and 70s, they had all these ideas of like what 2000 was going to be like and stuff. And like 2000 came and went. I'm like, oh, nothing has really changed. But all of those, not all of those ideas, but a lot of those ideas there that we didn't have in 2000, they're basically here now and stuff. Like, you've got self-driving cars, you've got like cell phones are essentially, you know, the communicator and stuff. You've got
even the like Dick Tracy watch or Power Rangers watch, you know, you can now speak and see people on the watch. And yeah, it's all here. Even with like, if you look at Back to the Future Part 2, when they went to the future, you know, they had like teleconference where his dad got fired from home. He was speaking to him on TV, and they had that pizza that was like very small, and it expanded. I mean, that's still not here yet, but hey, maybe it's coming soon. But they predicted a lot of stuff. Even The Simpsons, you watch a few of those episodes, they have some good future predictions too. So
So anyway, we'll go ahead, Rob. We could go on forever just talking about the future, but I'll say this: any future robots there, time travelers, please, like, kind of spare me, spare Greg, spare the family. We mean you no harm. With that,
and subscribe to our channel.
and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. With that though. I'll just go ahead and say, if you're looking for inspiration, or if you're looking for motivation, if you are kind of looking for a little bit direction and pep in your day, go ahead and check out Greg's blog, which is called planetgreensinn.com. Definitely check it out. It's got a lot of great resources there, and we won't sick any crazy robots on you if you don't go, but we strongly suggest that you check it out. So,
thanks, Darrell. And if you guys are looking actually to join this very fun mastermind group that we're a part of, definitely connect with Darrell. He will have his information in the description below. Click on that link, fill out your information, connect with Darrell, and hey, you can possibly be on this show with us.
Sounds good. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and call it a wrap. Peace to all sentient beings. With that.
Peace and prosper.
All right. Take care.